This is A-Game, fast-acting, long-lasting, with no side effects.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So I got something interesting that I want to share with you today. And all this week, I think I want to talk about the erasure of Black women from various different aspects, angles, and of course, unique perspectives. And because once and for all, we're going to have to understand where all of this stuff comes from. See, I keep telling y'all where feminism is coming from. Y'all adopt this stupid stuff and then you don't know where it comes from. And then there has been a point where Black women understood who they were. We're going to talk about that at some other point. But right now, I've got a TikTok, and I might show you two, of this white lady on TikTok. Older white lady look like. And she's doing a lot of complaining about marriage and about men, specifically white men, and something that she calls weaponized male incompetence. Now, we're going to get to what she means by that, because the story that she tells behind it is absolutely ridiculous. But we're going to hear some real familiar things. So what I'm going to do is I am going to share my screen with you guys. Here we go. It's about 2 minutes. So here we go.
Video replying this one because it's a perfect example about how men literally want to rope us into this nonsense. First of all, I make my videos for women. I have 15% of my audience are men watching these videos. It's for women. But there's always some dude who, like this one, who wants to come along and ask us, well, don't you want companionship? Don't you? We just said we don't want to get married again. Why on earth would we? It's not for the companionship. So I'm video replying to the first comment. There's a whole string, because I replied to him and I said, I have companionship with men. I don't need to get married to have that. And then he says, well, how about someone to wake up to every morning? Oh God, again, not realizing for what it means for us women. It means we have a man in our house that the minute he becomes a burden, it's going to be really hard for us to get rid of. And then he goes on, what about someone to share work at home? To which I laughed very hard. And I know that the ladies at home, especially those of us who've been married for any length of time, are laughing their asses off as well. Because as we know, that actually doesn't happen. And especially if you're in a committed relationship with a man, that it's hard for you to get out of. So I responded and I said, haha, shared. First of all, it should be split. And that never happens. And then he finally says, oh, well, there's bullshit on both sides. It just comes with the package. Right. That's why we don't want the package. We don't want to get married. We don't want a man in our house or on our lease. We want to be able to toss a man out of our lives at the first sign of bullshit. And it's a lot harder to do that if you're married, if you're living with someone, if you're engaged, if they're on the fucking lease. So no, we don't want it, because you offer nothing. And there's nothing that we can't get when we're not single. There's nothing you can provide us that we can't provide ourselves at this point. Video.
Now I'm going to stop sharing that. You heard what she said. Don't that sound familiar? Who that sound like? She is a white woman expressing disdain and discontent about marriage, about being with men. She's talking that I don't need a man mantra. Mind you, let me make this clear as well. I gotta go here. Mind you, this woman's talking about white men. You know she is. This is who she was married. She's divorced. She initiated it. And these are the men that divestors want to run to. Just These are the men. But we're going to get to that because she's actually referring to what's going on with her men. And there were a lot of white women in that comment section that was nodding in agreement. A lot of white women in that comment section. A lot of them. Okay? Her comment section was dominated by not only women, every woman, white women. White women was agreeing with her. Okay? She left her marriage for a very frivolous reason. So what I'm going to do, because you're going to have to hear this story before you really can appreciate how stupid this is, then I really want to show this to you. So this one is kind of long. This one's like 4 minutes. And I'm reticent to play it, but I needed to play that first one for you so you can hear the feminism. But I need to play this second video for you so that you can understand how that works against a marriage. I know it's 4 minutes, but you know what? The more I talk, the more time I'm eating up. So, but I want you guys to listen carefully. She might say 1 or 2 curse words. It's not going to be too bad if she does. But here we go. Let me share my screen here. Here it is.
These men are out there wanting us to marry them so we can have someone to take the trash out. But also there's a lot of women on TikTok also talking about weaponized incompetence and how so many women who are in committed relationships, living with a man, married, whatever, you know, the constant arguments over who's going to share the work. And they say, well, and I say, no, it's actually a power play. You know, when they do this weaponized incompetence, you know, even if there's no work to be done, they'll still do it. And the reason I say that is because I started a company in 1999 and it did well, made a lot of money, which meant I was married. I got married in 96. After 2000, I never had to clean my house again. You know, I never had to wash a dish. I hired a cleaning person to come once a week. So, you know, there was a lot that was taken off the plate. There was a lot I did not need from my ex, but it was very interesting. The very few things that I would ask for.
Now, before she keeps going, if she had a business and it made money to the point where she didn't necessarily have to clean and do the mundane work of the home, then that means the husband didn't have to do it either. But let's not act like only the husband benefited from that. She benefited from that. She actually benefited from not having to do that because she would have hired a maid cleaning service if she was making that type of money if she were single. Let's continue.
He would not do. He would do the weaponized incompetence thing. For instance, if he was coming home before me and we needed dog food, I'd say, oh, can you pick up dog food? Now he knew what kind of dog food the dogs needed. It was a good dog food. I'd say, could you go to the pet store and pick up this dog food? He'd say, okay. And then he would get home and he had picked up a dog food that they don't eat, a cheap dog food from the supermarket, that if I give it to them, they're going to get sick. And I would say that you can't do that. You know, just please pick up the right dog food. Now, again, we made a lot of money. There was very little work that this guy had to do at home. And so instead, it was these tiny little things that he was supposed to help with that he turned into the biggest problems. I literally, when I lost my mind in July 2012, which I guess I gained my mind back, and I literally was in the middle of my kitchen and I said to him, that's it. It's over. I'm divorcing you. It was actually because of the dog food issue. This had happened like 12 times where I was like, please, I am just trying to tell you, if you can't pick up the correct dog food, just text me and let me know and we'll figure it out, because you buying this cheap dog food is not helping. I can't use it. And now we had a bin where the dog food would go in, and up until this point, literally the thing that made me divorce him is he would buy the dog food, but then stick it down, you know, the wrong dog food, and stick it down next to the bin, not even put it in the bin, which was good because it was the wrong dog food. And the time before, when he brought home the wrong dog food, I just took it and I tossed it out in the trash. And then I went and got the right dog food. And literally like an idiot, I asked him again, hey, could you pick up the dog food? And this time there was a little bit of dog food left of the good stuff. He buys the wrong dog food. He brings it home. He opens it up and dumps it into the bin. So I open it up and there's like Purina dog chow or something in there. And I literally looked it in and I was just like, and I walked into the kitchen. I said, I'm divorcing you. And that was that. And of course, he pretended to be blindsided. It was like literally the dozenth time. But like, I can't remember what the original comment I was responding to. But ultimately, these men, they literally do it to screw with you, and they do it to maintain their power in the relationship. It doesn't matter. You can have all the money in the world. They will find the tiny little thing to screw with you. And that's what I understood. That's why I was like, you know what? Ciao. I'm done. And I've got to say, it was 10 years ago, July 2012. Never been happy. This has been the happiest decade of my life. Happiest, most successful, richest decade. And also, I look better than I did 10 years ago because I wasn't miserable and upset all the time. Yeah, these.
Now, I know that was long, but what I want to do is, there's a lot of white women in this comment section. Older, younger, middle age, all of them are agreeing. The vast majority of them are agreeing with her. They're agreeing with her. Okay. Now, the reason I played that is so that you could hear a couple of things. You could hear what she meant by weaponized incompetence. And then you can hear the stupid dog food story, because that story was so stupid. Because if you got that kind of money, what you do is you just order it and you have it delivered to you. You just order it. If he can't be bothered to bring the right dog food, why are you? So you got to pick your battles. Why are you arguing about it? Just order it. Or just make sure that you have a surplus of it. Go to the store, and next time you go to the pet store, buy a bunch of it. Store it however you got to store it. If you're getting fresh dog food, that go in the refrigerator, freezer. If you're getting a real good grain-free, this, that, and the third dog food, but it's dry, buy 2 bags, buy 2 or 3 bags. And in that way, once it starts running out, you've got time to see. It's easily solved. But she wanted to be bothered by it. She wanted to be inconvenienced by it. But that's neither here nor there, really. That's not really neither here nor there. You listen. She left the husband. And she's saying, and the women are agreeing, and they had testimonials of their own about how their men, white men, were basically like doing that. That was like a phenomenon for them. Okay, that the men would go into this whole incompetence. I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? You got to ask me 50 times for the same thing, and I'm going to get it wrong, to the point where it's like, are you purposely doing that? Like, are you trolling me? So here's my thing. Are these white men purposely creating untenable environments to make their wives go away? Because there were a couple of them that were saying, yeah, you know, I have been asking him to organize the garage for the last couple of years. And when I finally left, and then a couple of days later, I came back to pick up my stuff, he had organized it. Now, are these white men purposely creating unbearable or untenable or gaslight-ridden environments to make these women sort of like be like, oh, I don't know what you're doing, but I think I'm being trolled, so I'm leaving? Possibly. They're possibly running these women off. Mind you, this is something that white women are complaining about in a society being manipulated by the same white men. Don't these same white men, by and large in the society, create environments that are untenable and then stand back and watch the drama unfold? Can we say ghettos? Can we say school to prison pipelines? Can we say inadequate funding for schools and inadequate jobs and inadequate, to create that whole narrative about poverty? And then they stand back and watch you do what they know you're going to do. They're going to hit you with what you know is coming, and then say, oh, well, those people over there is a black on black crime. You understand what I'm saying? These same group of men. Same culture, same mindset. So they might be creating untenable situations in their home, make their wife be gaslighted so she can go ahead on. So where they might be just an armchair diagnosis. But here is the thing that I really want to get to. These, first of all, are the same men that the divestors want. Black men don't even operate this way. I need y'all to understand this. Black men do not operate that way. If black men are going to, first of all, it takes a long time for black men to leave. Second of all, they never do so-called weaponized incompetence. Black men don't do that because they are always in a position of trying to prove how manly they are, giving the 4 P's to the best of their actual ability to do. Most black men, especially once they get into marriages and things of that nature, are actually trying to do their best in a relationship, come what may. They're trying to do their best for the most part, right? Black women aren't necessarily complaining about, I've never heard a black woman say black men do weaponized incompetence. I've never heard that complaint at all because black men don't actually do that. But among other things, feminism has been white women's projection of her man's idiosyncrasies onto every other man. I'll repeat that. Among other things, feminism has been white women's projection about the idiosyncrasies of their men onto other men by saying the other men do this too, that this is just a man thing and not a white man thing. This is how they got black women into feminism in the first place, by saying, oh, all men do this in the patriarchy. All men stand on their women. All men dominate their women. All men are tyrannical over their women. All men do this. All men do that. That was her man. See, black women decided that it could be applied to black men as well. But this is what I meant by feminism was never meant for black women. It was never for black women because it never truly defined, nor could it identify black women's relationship dynamic with black men. It just didn't have a place. Yet through the cultural dissemination of feminism, the women in general got brainwashed by something that white women were complaining about white men. However, now you got black women feeling the same way that was expressed in the first video that I dropped with her, talking about, I don't need no man. We don't need no men. It ain't nothing that y'all provide, right? They don't need their men. They can do better. I can do bad by myself. And all of the bitterness that is attached to that woman is bitter. That woman is not happy because you can't be happy and bitter at the same time. So that woman is bitter. So she's not happy, right? And what this has really done, as we know, has led to less marriages, more incomplete and broken homes, more single motherhood, more wild children. Our children are out of control, and a complete breakdown in black culture by black women taking on that mindset. It's not for you. It's not for you. Black men ain't never operated like that. Black men do not operate that way. Okay? They don't. That's between her. That is between Becky and Brad. They don't have nothing to do with you or your man at all. This is probably going to be somewhat of a loose series because we're going to keep hitting this from different angles. It's meant to make black women extinct. It's the erasure of you. She talked about something frivolous, which is another thing that black women have picked up, the frivolity of the reason why you want to leave your man. If y'all are having a good life and y'all chilling, then why is dog food and something this stupid that big of a deal for you? How many things has that woman done to that man in that marriage that he overlooked more than 12 times? You understand what I'm talking about? And black women pick that stupid stuff up because when black men talk about the correct order of things and women supposed to have a feminine submissive spirit, you get, and when do y'all submit? See, you get that stupid stuff. It's meant to make you go away. We got a lot. It's a lot. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and cut this short. And what I want to do is draw everybody's attention to the fact that you can now go to crimsoncure.com and you are able to purchase the Reclaiming the Black Feminine, the Lies of Feminism and the Road to Recovery on the beautiful website. You can go ahead and purchase this book, okay? It is on sale now. And go ahead to crimsoncure.com, pick up your copy of this book, okay? It is a dynamic read. I promise you that when you get this in your hand, you will not regret it at all. This is going to change somebody's lives. Hopefully, it's going to change a lot of people's lives. Hopefully. That is the goal, okay? The other thing that I want to bring everybody's attention to as a goal is the fact that we are trying to get to 15,000 signatures on our petition that we have against Black Lives Matter, okay? My apologies for putting it on and off. But our goal is 100,000 signatures for the petition. We're still doing this. I understand that this is sort of a long haul that we're going on, but the participation in the petition is still very key. So I'm really asking those of you who have not signed it to please do so. If you haven't shared it in a while, please do so. And I appreciate everyone who has participated so far. And with also, before we sign off, jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites. Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.